Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. You're at Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. Thank you so much for meeting me in the garden today. I'm excited because in this video, I'm going to give you a tour of my in-ground outside garden. It's at the end of June and I cannot wait to show you how things have progressed in just a month since the last video, and how as we're selling into July, I feel overall pretty good about how things are trending. I'm going to walk you through each row, show you what's going on, also talk to you about some upcoming plans in the garden, and just kind of give you an overview of how each crop is doing, lessons I'm learning, varieties I'm loving, all the stuff. So if you're brand new here, thank you so much for joining. I'm excited that you're here. We have a lot of new people. So if you're brand new, please put down in the comments what state or country you're coming in from, and so I can say hello and welcome to you. And if you're one of my faithful followers, I am happy to see you as well. We have such a good community here, not because of me, but because of all of you, right? So I'm excited. It feels very pleasant right now. It's about an hour before it gets dark. It has been unbearably hot during the day. Hence, I got all my hair just like pulled to one side. So if you see me looking crazy, y'all, this is the best I can do today. Okay, with this heat, it has been so crazy. That really I'm only able to work outside usually like 2 hours at the most, just because it's been so hot. I would have to get up at like 3:00 in the morning, and that's not my ministry. That's not my ministry. So anyway, for those that are new, this space that I'm going to show you today is 4,000 square feet. It's 40 by 100. We have 8 100-foot rows. I'm going to take you through each row and show you how things are going and what we're growing out here in Tennessee in Zone 7B. So let's get started. Let's start with the row that is bare. That's where we had our onions. Let's talk about what I plan to do over here. First of all, y'all, look how great my husband did with clearing this out. The last time that you saw this space, we were pulling onions. We had weeds that were probably 2 feet high, and this whole space was covered. My husband has come in and gotten rid of, pretty much just kind of weed-eated all the weeds down so that it is bare. So I'm really excited about that. Now, let's talk about some plans for this. Okay, so you can see this space. Like I said, we had our onions here. We fought with the weeds big time on these onions, right? And so you guys, I had asked you guys, hey, what do you think about either me doing the onions again this way and maybe just try to stay on top of the weeds more? Or another thought I had was to eventually over time build up this whole area, like this whole long row, with just stacks of metal raised beds. I should at least be able to get like 10 down here. Now that's a very costly option, and obviously I would do that over time, like maybe 2 beds a year, unless I get a sponsor or something like that. But the appeal of that option is that, one, it's an investment that will last over time, because I would get a metal raised bed and those typically last 20 to 25 years. The second thing is that as I get older and still want to garden, I don't have to bend as much, because the kind of raised beds I would get would be at least 17 inches high. Now, ideally 32 inches high would be great, but that's like up in the price big time. And we don't have that kind of money to invest in at that level, right? So that would be an option, is to just do raised beds essentially all the way down. I could put onions in here in the raised beds like I do in the back of my house. And then when those onions get harvested, I could fill this up with something else. So I could really get 2 crops during the summer, and if I just had raised beds. That is one option. A lot of you said, Barbara, don't do that. Just use the space you have and do onions again. So that is an option, and just try to stay on top of the weeds. But here's another option that came from you guys. Like, you didn't say this, but you said enough to make me go here, okay? So on one of my last videos, I showed you how my corn was doing. And we're gonna go over there and we're gonna look at it and see. But a lot of you said you're planting your corn too far apart. And I never even thought about that the spacing was off, because I already had the fabric laid down. They're 18 inches apart. And so I just went with what I had. But as I got to thinking about that, again, we live in the country and we pass a lot of cornfields. When you see those cornfields, they are like right on top of each other. Like the corn is like very close together, right? And I was thinking that makes sense. So I thought about, I could use this space here for corn. It's already 4 holes across, so I can already get the block fashion, because you want to plant corn in blocks like side by side, almost like a square, so that it's easy to pollinate versus in one single row. This would give me the block, and it would be closer together because these holes are like 8 inches apart. Now still, it could probably go 2 to 4 inches apart, but this gives me a better spacing than the 18 inches apart. So that is an option, you know. And we thought about, so you can see that this part over here to the fence, we got to put some more paper down, but we thought about, we could duplicate this part with the holes over here. So we would also like lay another piece down that has holes all the way down. And then we could do potentially onions in the front half and then corn in the back, right? I need to look up and see if onions and corn can be planted semi together, so to speak. But instead of me doing 2 rows of onions, excuse me, 1 sheet of onions, 1 sheet of corn, I would probably just split it up halfway, like in between. Onions in the front, and then onions in the front, corn in the back. And I could even leave some space in between the 2 crops if I needed to. So that is an option that I'm thinking about. We may even try that this summer as I replant corn. The goal this summer after the onion harvest was to put black paper down that was solid, so that way we could cover these holes and not deal with the weeds for the rest of the summer and for the winter. And I think we're still going to do that. But my husband said, if you're thinking about doing corn there next year, why don't you try it out this year, since you're going to replant some anyway. So I may decide to do some corn here in the beginning, in the front part, just to test it out and see how it does with it being so close together, and see how it works. I would not do this whole, like, I'm not prepared to do the whole thing. Like, no, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Just a test, right? Is okay, Lexi's just a running. Okay, just a test to see how it works. Tell me what you guys think about that. So that is an option. That's why I appreciate you guys for giving comments and feedback. I'm not one of those people that thinks I'm above some feedback. I love it. Give me the feedback, because even though I am on this channel and I'm trying to teach and inspire, I am also learning as I teach you guys. So thank you so much. So let's go on and see the rest of the rows. Okay, this first row here is all peppers all the way down. We have all different kinds of peppers, and they are growing pretty decently. There's bell peppers, there are roasting peppers. This is the Ajvarsky pepper that's growing well. It goes pretty much all the way down. We have all different kinds of peppers. We got some basil there, and then we have our banana peppers there. They're growing pretty well. I'm letting them turn like orange and stuff, so you can see that one's turning orange. It goes from the yellow to the purple. Then I forgot, we do have okra in this row, so you can see the okra has started to sprout. And even though the okra is not that tall yet, the first year I did okra, it got to like 7 feet tall. This is not that tall yet, and it's already producing. We probably have only harvested like 10 so far, but we're trying to do a better job of harvesting the okra and not losing it, so to speak. So I have about 8 okra plants, and then it's more peppers, and then flowers. Look at this beauty right here. This is the El Dorado zinnia. El Dorado, I think, and Salmon Rose is this one. So beautiful. And then we got a few more peppers, and then some celosia. So overall, on this pepper row, the main issue that I'm having is with sun scald. It is so hot. The sun is beaming down. And I had the same issue last year, but that was the first year that I had it. The first year that I gardened out here, I did not have sun scald. Last year I did, and this year I'm having some sun scald. So I'm trying to pick them as soon as they blush, and then the ones that have sun scald, If it's not too bad and it's just in one little spot, I'm bringing it in and cutting away the bad part and keeping the good part. But I don't know another way to protect it. I mean, it's out here in the direct sun. And so that's just what it is. But overall, this row is doing pretty well. Okay, so now we're on the bottom, the back of the second row, and we'll walk up. So at the very back of this row, we have a new green bean vining that we're trying. It's called the Trion Fino. I'll try to put the name up at the top. So it grows purple like green beans. We don't have any as of, oh, we do have one. That's the first one. That's how it grows. It's purple, but when you cook it, obviously it's gonna be green. It's my first time trying it. It's a Bonnie variety. I did it a lot for the beauty and the color. I think it'll be really, really pretty. And I only did, I think, I only did two. I think only one of them, there's another one down there. Then I forgot this one. This is a red scarlet vining green bean. There were two of those. I see one, it's growing a little bit more slowly, but you can see that there. So we'll see if it puts on a green bean or not. So that's the purple and the red. Then here is our center cut squash. Oh, I just broke it. Oh, I just broke it. Okay, I have to go on the other side and pick that one up. I just broke it. It's supposed to get much bigger than that. I'm assuming, I've never grown it before. But I'm assuming maybe it still may be good. I don't know. I'll take it in the house and cut it open and see what it looks like. But that's how it's growing so far. It's supposed to get like super, super long. So I don't even think that's even half its size yet, but it's growing well. This is from row 7 and it's called center cut squash. I think I have 3 of those so far. You can see them growing in here. And here you can see this is some insect Japanese beetle damage here. You can see that there, the Japanese beetles are already out. So I just started seeing this like maybe a couple of days ago. They're already trying to eat the leaves. So I will come out here and spray with neem oil. But we deal with Japanese beetles a lot. Let me know if you guys have another way of dealing with Japanese beetles. You can see more Japanese beetle damage, but the plants that I'm showing you are a new variety again to me. This is a vining green bean. This is the Kentucky Wonder. I see one little green bean forming there. Let's see if no more as of yet. Okay, so yeah, the Japanese beetles are really attacking these Kentucky Wonder. So they're definitely, I guess, susceptible to that. So we'll put some neem oil on it and try to catch, but they have a lot of buds and flowers. So hopefully it'll produce well. If you've done Kentucky Wonder, let me know. Then we get into this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at that. Okay, these are from row 7 again. I'm trying a lot of their new stuff. They sent me a whole thing of seeds, so I've been enjoying trying all of their different varieties. I think I have like 10 of these plants. They are putting on everywhere. And then the rest of the row are purple hull peas. They are starting to put on flowers. I see one little, y'all, this just happened like overnight because I was just out here yesterday and none of this was there. This just happened. But I've grown these every other year. Look, y'all, they starting to get put on. So nice. All of these are purple hull peas, and you can see all of the flowers, and they're starting to put on. Y'all, it is amazing to me how literally overnight some things can happen. Like, I was just out here yesterday and I saw all the flowers, but I did not see any of the actual beans. I got plenty of beans already starting to form. The one thing about when it comes to like purple hull peas, black eyed peas, and any of those cowpeas, they love heat. And in the past week, we have high temperatures, like 92 to 95 easily every day. And that's when they have just literally like shot up. They're like, oh, it's my season. It's my season. It's my season. Right? So I love purple hull peas. It's nothing like getting them fresh. And my goal again is to do enough that'll last me the whole entire year. And I did just that for the past 2 summers. And by God's grace, we'll have the exact same thing this summer. I think I have 2 bags left in my freezer, and that is it. So we did well in terms of the abundance. And I only do typically half of a 100-foot row. And that has been plenty enough for our. Okay, so this is row 3. You can see we have plenty of green and abundance. So starting here in the beginning is just, I don't know what that is. Okay, so starting here in the beginning, we have some bell peppers that we just had left over when we started in the beginning with those. And then we get into our squashes. And so this is also a new variety. This is the honey patch squash from row 7. It's like a mini squash. So far, it is doing really, really well. No issues. You can see I got plenty forming all in there. Oh, I see the squash bugs coming. But I have plenty that are forming in there. You can see there's more there. There's more there. Then we get into our regular squash and zucchini. This right here, it looks like powdery mildew, but this is a variegated leaf. This is the Dunja variety zucchini from Johnny's. There's zucchini there. All of this is looking good. The zucchini is just now starting to slow down. We're still harvesting. Like, there's a pretty one there, but it's just now starting to slow down. And then we get into our squashes. You can see squash there, all along here. And y'all, so far, the leaves look good. But I just saw a squash bug down there at the very beginning, so I know that they are coming. And like, I'm just starting to see like that right there. This variety right here is called Sunstripe. This is a new one. Let's see if I can show you. It's like a darker yellow. Very pretty, striped. It has produced well. Then we have our basil, more basil. And then we have our zinnias. I just did this as a separation for the corn, because after that we get into the corn, the 2 rows of corn that we have here. I think there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 in each row, so a total of 40 stalks of corn. So that's this row here. Look at these beautiful, beautiful sunflowers. So pretty. And y'all, let you see this view right there. Now let's talk about this particular row and what I'm seeing, what I like and what I don't like. Okay, so overall, this row has done really well. I have been so pleased with the squash and zucchini, because last year was a disaster with the squash and zucchini, but it has been producing like nobody's business. I can tell now that it's starting to slow down. We have probably easily on my counter right now, I have probably at least, I would say 15 of each, so a total of 30. I probably took this past weekend to church easily 20 of each, so a total of 40. It has been producing like nobody. I probably have had at least 150 easily, because I've sold some, I have freeze dried some, I have some in my freezer, and we've had it every single week to eat for the past 3 weeks easily. So it has been producing non-stop. So that just goes to show you, one year you can have a bumper crop, the next year not. They're probably, if I had to guess, on their way out in the next 2 weeks or so, right? But I'm surprised, because at this stage of the game, they usually are not looking this good. They are looking really good. I don't see any powdery mildew as of yet. I just saw one squash bug, and so I know that's just what happens. So somebody asked me, what do you do about squash bugs? I have not found anything that has worked for squash bugs. So my strategy is that I just plant another succession of squash and zucchini if I want more. That is my strategy. If you know another way, let me know. But I have tried all the things. It has not worked in my zone. So we just let it be the way it is. Also, let me give you an update about the corn. If you saw my corn video, when I was talking about I messed up my corn and I picked the corn, y'all, let me tell you, I went in the house, I shook that corn and I cooked that corn. That corn was good. It was good. It was so good. We had enough. I think I had what, like 15 ears. We had enough for one meal, and then I had some left over that I used in another meal for, on top of a burrito bowl. So it was enough for two meals. And a burrito bowl, you don't put as much, but I was pleased. I was very pleased. And I have probably like 4 more ears that I've harvested since then, and I see that I already have a few more to harvest. So I'm gonna let it go probably another week or so, and then we're gonna replant some more. I have some more seeds that I started in the house that's not doing well, so I may give it another week because we got to go out of town one more time. I'll give it until I come back from being out of town, and then I'll assess if my seeds have not done anything. Then I will just pull that up and then just direct sow, right, and make sure that we do it that way. So the corn turned out great, even though I messed up and didn't plant the right varieties. The corn that I picked tasted yummy. Okay, so let's do the other row. The next row that we're going to do is the tomato row. And so all down the row are tomatoes, and then I have a couple of herbs, and I have a couple of tomatillos. So let's take a look at that row and how it's doing. Okay, so I talked to you about this last week, how and somebody told me that what I showed you in terms of the damage was an army worm. I had never had those before, and when I looked it up, you are absolutely right. That's exactly what it looked like. Some army worms eating some of my tomatoes, right? But overall, the ones that don't have damage are looking really good, and we have plenty of tomatoes. We just need them to blush. Okay, y'all tell me, do you consider that blushing? Like, I be looking for like a little hint of red, like it's going from green to yellow. If I pull it now, will it ripen? I pulled one just to see. I don't want to pull them too fast because I don't want to lose a tomato. They look so good. Like, these look very good. I just need you to get just a little hint of red so I can take you in the house. But all down the road, we have all kinds of tomatoes. What we just passed were Big Beef Plus. These, I think, are probably like a large red cherry is what it looks like. Or no, you know what? I think this is pineapple tomato. Let's see. Beefsteak. Some of my labels got messed up, but this might be a pineapple tomato. Okay, so then like this one here, you can see where it's been eaten. Well, no. Seemed like it was scratched. It hadn't been eaten as of yet. Like, I would consider that one blushing. But look at all these clusters right here. Come on, girl. Just turn red. That's all you got to do. Clusters upon clusters. Here is one that has been eaten or damaged, I should say. So all along here, and y'all, I just realized I skipped a row. We'll come back through. We'll come back through. So you can see, look at that. That's an Amish paste. These are Amish paste tomatoes. So like, here's an example of the army worm where it just completely messed up that tomato. But then it's not getting all the tomatoes. But like, here's another one right there. So it's very sporadic, but it's enough that I'm throwing some away. And then these right here are blueberry tomatoes. This is a brand new variety that I'm trying from Baker's Creek. Oh, that one just came off. You can see what they start to look like. Then they get dark purple. And then they're supposed to turn reddish purple. So I'm waiting for them to turn another color. According to the description, it's supposed to be like a reddish, dark purple, a purple and red blend mix. And I don't see any red yet, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. But this is called blueberry from Baker's Creek. Then this here is another new one from row 7. It's called Midnight Roma. They are doing well. Same thing. It's supposed to turn like, have some red in it. Right now it's just dark purple. So I'm waiting for it to turn. But they are a pretty nice size. So I'm hoping that they'll turn and I'll be able to get them and use them and see how it goes. This right here is also a new tomato called Juliet. It's like a grape tomato that I'm trying for the first time. It's putting on, but again, we're just waiting for blushing. Here are my 2 tomatillo plants. I feel like it's gonna take a lot of these little things just to make some salsa verde. What did y'all tell me when it's ready? I think you said it'll like fall to the ground or something, or it'll, what did y'all tell me about when it's ready? I can't even remember. I gotta look it up. Anyway, they're on there. I have more flowers than I have tomatillos, but I'm like, these little things, I'm gonna need a whole lot of those. But since it was my first time, I only planted 2 because I want to even see if I like it. And then down there, these are the sun gold tomatoes. We've already harvested some of those. It's like an orange tomato. Tastes so good. And then we have some sunflowers here just for beauty. Look at this. That's the orange Pro Cut Excel. And then look at this. This is firecracker. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, sorry, this is the row we skipped. So this is the other side of where the corn is. Like, see, that one's ready to pick. So coming up the back side is the corn. To the right is the row I just showed you with the tomatoes. But in this row, we have the corn. We have more squash. It's slowing down, but it's still producing. You can see some of it there. Then a marigold. Then we have some more tomatoes here on this trellis. We have about 7 or 8 plants there. Haven't been able to pick any as of yet. And then we have some more peppers. These are like a cayenne pepper, just waiting on them to turn red, but it's loaded. Bell peppers. But then let me show you this. This is also from row 7. I got a lot of purple peppers action going on. This is called the patchwork pepper. Again, it's supposed to turn red at some point, or some red stripes, so we're waiting. Okay, so let's talk about the tomatoes first. So overall, I mean, the tomatoes are doing well. I showed you that we do have some damage with the armyworm, and we also have some damage with the blossom end rot. Thank you guys for your comments on the blossom end rot. That made complete and total sense. Remember, I was saying on the video that usually blossom end rot is a calcium deficiency, but it said that my soil was high in calcium. So I was trying to figure out, well, what could be possibly wrong? And so what I've concluded based on research and what you guys told me as well to validate it is that the plant is not able to uptake the nutrients and the calcium, and also the blossom end rot can be the cause of inconsistent watering. So we are on drip, so it is getting watered consistently. But one thing that we have done is that we water in the morning. It comes on in the morning, then it also comes on in the evening. That's just because it's been so hot. So it's inconsistent in that way, meaning it's not always night, it's morning and night. But I think one of the things that may have happened is that last month, at the beginning of the season, we had tons of rain. It rained like every day for 2 weeks. And then the temperature changed. It got hot into the 90s. So I wonder if that moisture swing with all the rain and then the high heat has caused to where some of the nutrients are not available for uptake. That's just my educated guess based on what you guys said, what I've read, and all that good stuff. But if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say only 10% of the tomatoes have been affected as of yet. So it's not every tomato by no stretch of the imagination on the armyworm or the blossom end rot. On the blossom end rot is less than even the armyworm damage, right? So I can't complain. At this point, the tomatoes look good. It's just having a hard time blushing. And for the tomatoes to blush, it has to be in that optimal heat range, period. When it gets too hot like this, it takes longer for them to blush. You would think the heat would make them turn and ripen faster, but that's not the way it happens. It really needs to be like in the 80 to 90 range for them to blush on a quicker basis. They will eventually blush. It's just taking a lot longer. So that's what we're waiting on, because as soon as they blush, I'm going to take them in the house. So right now they look good. I'm just trying to keep them as healthy as possible and keep them looking good until we can take them in the house. At this point, we have not harvested but 1 or 2 slicing tomatoes. We've harvested a ton of cherry tomatoes because those tend to ripen faster. But as of yet, we have not harvested more than 2 slicers. So I'm waiting on the slicers. I am waiting on the slicers. So overall, that's doing good. As you've heard me say, I'm trying a lot of new crops as well as some old tried and true. So Row 7 sent me a ton of seeds. So I'm trying out some of their stuff. And I'll continue to let you know how it goes. But I feel like I got a lot of purple varieties in my garden this year, which is good. It gives it some color. So we'll see how it happens. But we have 2 more rows to show you. So let's see row 7, I think. I don't know. I've lost count. We got 2 more rows. Okay, so this row here is all, for the most part, spicy pepper. So it's jalapenos, cayenne, sugar rush peach. That's the gist of it. I do have some herbs in this row as well. So I'm not going to walk the whole row. It's pretty standard. It's doing pretty well. Like I said, a lot of jalapenos and cayenne pepper and flowers and herbs. And then this very last row, y'all look at this. It looked like a whole bunch of mess. But y'all, it is watermelons. These watermelons, let me back. This watermelon patch has gone crazy. So let me move you over here so you can get like a full-on shot. So you can see down the center, the things that you see sticking up are basil. We interplanted with basil. Everything to the left and to the right are the watermelon leaves. They are covering both aisleways. So let me try to walk down here and show you. I'm going to start over this row here because I got a little bit more space to walk and show you how the watermelons are doing. Y'all, look at all of these leaves. If I have as many watermelons as I do flowers, I'm going to have a ton. I got way more flowers right now. There's a little baby watermelon starting. But then look here. There's one right there. There's another one hiding back there. I'm trying to be careful not to step on this stuff. It's just, and I'm going to tell you how we do the spacing over here with the watermelon. I don't remember it being this wild last year. At least not on both sides. Okay, there's another one. It's hard to see because it's so, oh yeah, there's one. Oh, there's another one right there. Can y'all see that? There's one. Oh, this is just on one side. Let's keep going down. It's like a little treasure hunt. If y'all can see that. Oh, there's a pretty one right there. There's one. So the striped one you can see better because of the different coloring and stuff. You can see I have basil interplanted all down here. The whole watermelon patch, there's basil interplanted. Oh, here's a cantaloupe. Yay, Mr. Cantaloupe. I only did like 2 or 3 cantaloupe plants. I've never been successful with cantaloupe, so that's a good sign. That's the biggest I've ever seen one. Let's see if there's any more. Y'all, there's another watermelon there. Oh, this was a big one. Look at that. Okay. These were planted a little bit later, so they're going to come a little bit later. They're probably 3 or 4 weeks behind the rest of them. Let's walk back up this way. Y'all can see how far it spreads. Now we're on the other side. There's 2 right here. Y'all, I've lost count. Are we up to like maybe 8 or 9? I'm trying to get a lot of these, move them out of the aisleway like that because they just taking over. There's a little one forming. As you can see, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so that's the watermelon patch. So in terms of spacing, if you're new here and you didn't see when we did it, so throughout the whole garden, I have that quick plant fabric down from Farmer's Friend. And everything outside of the first row that I showed you where the onions were, everything else is 18 inches apart. And in between the rows, we have 3 feet. Now, for those of you who have researched or who have seen market gardening, you may say you are not utilizing your space, right? Now, if we were doing this full time for production and living off the sales of this food, you're right. I could definitely maximize this space more, but that's not why we started it. And it is better for us to have space to walk in between when we're harvesting. And I just like that better instead of everything being right on top of each other. But again, my purposes are different than what a market gardener would be, which is to max out production, and they are living off what they sell, right? So that is the spacing. When it comes to the watermelon patch, again, inside the row, they are 18 inches apart, but on either side of the watermelons is 3 feet on either side. So as you can see, it's going to the left and to the right. I specifically have the watermelons here to have that spacing. And on the left side of the watermelons is just black fabric that does not have holes in it, and that helps control the weeds, except the weeds that are coming through on the fence line. And that's really just grass growing through the fence line that we have to. Do y'all see this? Look at Lexi. This is some old paper that was and she's trying to get it through the thing. Lex is our new puppy, if you're new here. And when I say she's quite the puppy, she is quite the puppy. Just into everything. She's still trying to learn. Anyway, so for the watermelon patch, there's at least 3 feet of space on either side. So we don't plant another crop right beside so that it has space to roam. And that has been really effective. Before I did it this way, I tried to do a watermelon in a raised bed. Didn't work. I tried to do it in the ground with something else right beside it, 18 inches right beside. It did not work. Watermelons, as you can see, they vine. They need space to just roam, right? And yeah, they need space. But overall, in terms of the varieties that I planted for watermelon, in case you want to know, I did Sugar Baby, I did Strawberry Watermelon from Baker's Creek, and I did a Crimson, I think it's called Crimson Sweet as well. What I really wanted, the majority of, was strawberry watermelon. We did that for the first time last year. It tastes excellent, produced really well. This year, my seeds from Baker's Creek, the strawberry watermelon, did not germinate well at all. I tried 2 times. It just did not do well. So the majority of what's out here, unfortunately, is probably not going to be strawberry watermelon. It's probably going to be probably Sugar Baby or Crimson Sweet. And I don't even know. I think the Crimson Sweet is the one that's like the light green with the stripes. Right now, I can't even tell the difference between the Sugar Baby and the strawberry watermelon. Although the Sugar Baby eventually will be just round, like almost like a little round ball. And the strawberry watermelon grows oblong. So I'll be able to tell the difference then. But either way, hopefully we'll have some good tasting watermelon. So that's the tour in a nutshell of the outside garden. Overall, I am pleased with the progress. Are we having some challenges? Yes, we are, but that's to be expected because no garden is perfect. But so far where we are in the season, we are harvesting a ton of squash, zucchini, cucumbers, and jalapeno peppers. That's the most of what we're harvesting right now. I hope in the next 30 days, by the time we do the next video, I'll be able to say that we've harvested a lot of peppers and a lot of tomatoes. That is what I'm waiting on. And then also the watermelon, I got to see when we plant it, but the watermelon should probably be ready, some of it in the next 30 days as well. There's hubby. He's been on the riding lawnmower, cutting all this stuff behind me. But overall, y'all, things are going really well. I hope that your gardens are going really well. I would like for you, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel and help us grow this community. It is a safe place to learn. It's a safe place to ask questions. Everybody here is just willing to help. So please subscribe if you haven't. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.